Just to put our gospel today in context, yesterday's gospel, or the passage that comes before him, is when Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" And then he tells him, "Feed my sheep, tend my lambs, feed my sheep." And then we have this passage. Jesus issues that invitation to follow him to each one of us. But sometimes we, like Peter, try to get ourselves out of the invitation. It's obviously a big responsibility that Peter had no idea at that point what would it mean to feed his lambs, to feed the flock of Christ. So he sees the other disciple whom Jesus has loved and says, what about him? You're the one who you love. Why you're asking me? We try to pass the buck to somebody else. Well, ask him, give him that responsibility. Sometimes we don't follow Jesus because we're not secure of his love for us. Remember, Peter denied the Lord. And the Lord asks him, 3 times, "Do you love me?" to remind him of his 3-time denial of who Jesus is. Sometimes we don't feel capable, or really we're the ones who can do what Jesus is asking us. So we don't follow him. We pass it down. We say no. We're not secure ourselves that we can do this job. We're not secure that the Lord will be with us and guide us every step of the way. Sometimes it's confusion. Here Jesus asking Peter, "Do you love me?" And that's the disciple whom Jesus loved. And Peter's, like, "Why you're asking me? Should you be asking him? He's the one who loves you." A human dynamics get in the way sometimes of trusting Jesus and following him. And Jesus tells us today, that's not of your concern. Just do what I'm asking you to do. Follow me. It's easy to come up with excuses, but that doesn't change the Lord's mission to each one of us to follow him. That's what it means to be a disciple, is a follower. And the disciples of Jesus Christ means we follow Jesus Christ. So how is Jesus calling you to follow him today, at this time? Sometimes we have no idea. If you don't know, just after Mass, as you know, we have exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. Sit down in front of the Lord and have that conversation with him. Say, "Lord, how do you want me to follow you?" Or maybe there's a specific situation going on in your life that you need some guidance. Say, "Lord, help me to know how can I follow you in this situation." And the Lord will answer your prayers, will guide you. Because he sent us the Spirit of truth, the Spirit that guides us on the path, on the way that Jesus has chosen for each one of us. So let's not be afraid. Let's not try to get out of what Jesus is asking us to do, but let us follow him with trust and with love.